Today we are changing the brake pads on the Hellcat. What's up, YouTube? Back at you with another video here. Today we are changing the brake pads on the Hellcat. As many of you may know, these Brembo brakes produce tons of brake dust. The 6-piston calipers, Brembo's pads just, they work really well, but they do produce a lot of brake dust. As you can see, these wheels are brand new. I have about 80 miles on them since I've washed it last, and the amount of brake dust is just crazy. As you can see here, it's terrible. So after searching on many websites and different forums and whatnot, I've come to find out that there's a company called Powerstop that makes carbon ceramic brake pads for these 6-piston Brembo brake calipers that do just as good of a job stopping the vehicle, but does not produce nearly as much brake dust. So I went ahead and actually purchased those. Here we have the Powerstop Extreme Street Performance brake pads. They're carbon ceramic, like I mentioned. These are the Z26 brake pads here, and these work in the 6-piston Brembo calipers. So I'm going to go ahead and open the box up and show you guys what we're going to be working with here today. To complete this job, you're going to need a floor jack. You're going to need a breaker bar. You're going to need a socket to take your lug nuts off, depending on what. I have aftermarket wheels, so mine are different. Mine take a spline key like this. You're going to need a torque wrench for when you torque the wheels back when you put them back on the car. You're going to need a punch, and you're going to need a 13mm socket. I have mine on a 3/4 inch ratchet, and you're going to need a hammer. Other than that, you're all set to complete the job. So let's go ahead and open up the box here. Before I do, so you guys know which ones to get if you're interested, they are the Powerstop Extremes Z26 brake pads. Here's the part number, everything you need to know. Go ahead and order them up online. I actually ordered mine off Amazon. I'll put a link in the description below on where to get these. I found them on Amazon for the cheapest price. Alright, so let's see what we got here. We've got the clips and new pins. I'll show you where those go here in a few once I do the job here. We've got the new pads. Man, those things are huge. So we got the new pads. Looks like we've got some sort of grease here. Some ceramic silicone brake component lubricant. That's interesting. Okay. Put that on there. Let's see what else we got. Oh, we got more clips here. So I'll have to do some reading and see which ones to use, whether we use these ones or these ones. So let's get started. So now that you got your wheel off, you're ready to take the pins out and remove the old Brembo brake pads. First things first, you're going to want to leave this pin in and knock these 2 pins out first with the punch. So punch those 2 out, and then third, take the nut off the back of this pin. It's a 13mm nut. Take that out, and then this pin pushes this way, and then this clip comes off, and you'll be able to pull your pads out. And I'm going to show you how to do that here next. So in this case, I didn't have a correct punch to push the pins through, so I used a end of an Allen wrench and a hammer to punch the pins out. As you can see here, they're almost all the way out. You go ahead and pull them out from the back, and then once those two are removed, you remove this third one here in the middle with the 13mm nut, and then you're all set. Then the clip comes off, as you'll see next. So now that you removed your two pins and your clip, you got to remove this third pin, which has the 13mm nut on the back, so we're going to go ahead and do that now. So once all your pins and clips are out, now it's time to remove the brake pads. So sometimes they might be a little tough, but if you shimmy them left and right, they should come out. So once you get your old brake pads out, this is a good time to clean up your brake caliper and all around in here if you want, before you put your new brake pads in. So now that you got everything cleaned up under here, you want to go ahead and take your new brake pads, your Powerstop Extreme brake pads, and go ahead and put them in one by one. I like doing the back one first because it's easier to get to if you have to push the plungers in. It's easier to grab the plungers from the front side and push them in than it is the rear. And the rotor is, it moves a little bit, so it's, lets you get the pads in there. So as you can see, this one here didn't really want to go in, so I took my hands behind the caliper and pushed the plunger in, or piston rather, since it's a 6-piston caliper, 3 on this side, 3 on that side. So I pushed them in with my fingers, and the new brake pad should slide in. Like so. Now that your new brake pads are in, you're going to want to go ahead and take your clip here and the 2 pins and go ahead and secure this back by pushing the pin from the back side of the caliper through the brake pad. So I'm going to go ahead and push it through like so. Then grab a hammer and go ahead and tap that pin back into place. And same with the bottom pin. to take your middle pin with the 13mm bolt and stick that in. And go ahead and tighten it down. Once all your pins are in place, you are now done with installing the brake pads. I ended up using the factory hardware that came on the car. The Powerstop brake pads came with new pins and a new clip, but I was reading on the forums and a lot of guys said to just run the OEM Brembo clip and pins. Mine weren't wore out at all, so I just cleaned them up a little bit and made them work. So while I have the front wheels off, I went ahead and gave them a nice deep clean. I not only washed the outside of the wheel, but I washed the inside of the wheel too. Those Brembo brakes, man, they definitely produce some brake dust, so hopefully these new brake pads prevent all this brake. I really like this product from Adams. It's their wheel cleaner. You go ahead and spray it on. As you can see, after waiting 2 minutes for the Adams wheel cleaner to sit on the wheel, you can see it turns, all the brake dust turns red, and that lets you know that it's working. And you'll see here in a minute when I spray it off, you'll just see it does a really good job at getting the brake dust off the wheels. So instead of drying the wheels off with a towel, I invested in this little blow dryer from Amazon, and it cuts dry time down, like cuts it in half. Honestly, it works really good. I'll show you here. Just like that, you're all done. I use this on my car too. It cuts dry time literally in half. So I recommend getting one of those if you do your own car washes. It works great, especially on wheels where you can't get in every nook and cranny, especially a custom wheel, something like this. It's very hard to get every inch of the wheel with a towel. So definitely recommend getting one of these. And that completes our video today of installing the Powerstop Extreme brake pads on a 2017 Hellcat Charger. These brake pads work on all 6-piston Brembo brake calipers like this one here. I highly recommend them just because they're definitely proven to reduce brake dust. I'm not going to say totally eliminate brake dust, but definitely reduces brake dust from the stock factory Brembo brake pads. But yeah, it all turned out good, and it wasn't that hard to do. It only took me about an hour to do both sides. So once you're done with your installation, you should go around and torque your 2 front wheels, or whatever wheel you pulled off, with a torque wrench. I torque mine down to 90 foot-pounds, and I mean, sometimes it calls for more, but honestly 90 foot-pounds is enough. So yeah, don't forget to, when you're done with your installation, you go around and torque your wheels. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, browse through the channel, check out some of my content. There's going to be more content coming, guys. Summer's just about to start, so like I said, I'll have more Demon videos coming, more videos with the vet, a whole bunch of stuff coming. Unfortunately, the weather still is not good here. It's pouring down rain today, 40 degrees. Definitely not car weather, but we will get there. As always, thanks for watching and have a great day.